Good morning, students. Welcome to another topic from lecture cum demonstration series. And today I will be enumerating advantages and disadvantages of use of unsaturated, saturated, and trans fats in food. According to the MCI curriculum, the competency addressed in this LCD is part of BI 11.24, where I will be enumerating advantages and disadvantages of use of unsaturated, saturated, and trans fats in food. Now, the learning objective of this LCD are as following. At the end of this session, the students will be able to know about what are trans fats and enumerate advantages and disadvantages of use of unsaturated, saturated, and trans fats in food. Let's look at the biomedical importance of unsaturated, saturated, and trans fats in food. Now, lipids are very important because of their wide range of functions and diseases resulting from their abnormalities. Many diseases are associated with abnormal chemistry or metabolism of lipids. For example, obesity. Excessive fat consumption lead to obesity, which is risk factor for several diseases like cancer, hypertension, diabetes, heart attack, etc., atherosclerosis, hyperlipoproteinemia. Let's look at the chemistry of unsaturated, saturated, and trans fats before we move further. Let's study the chemistry of storage lipids. Now, the fats and oils are storage form of energy in living organisms and are chemically esters of fatty acids with glycerol. Let's see what are fatty acids. Fatty acids are hydrocarbon derivatives. Now, they are carboxylic acids with hydrocarbon chains ranging from 4 to 36 carbon long. Now, depending on the number of double bond, they are classified as saturated, monosaturated, and polysaturated fatty acids. Saturated fatty acid does not have any double bond. Now, unsaturated fatty acid may be further divided as following: monosaturated and polyunsaturated. So, monounsaturated has one double bond and polyunsaturated have two or more double bonds. Now, the configuration of double bonds in most unsaturated fatty acid is of cis type, and double bonds in polyunsaturated fatty acids are separated by at least one methylene group. We will see all this in a minute. Let's see some examples of monosaturated fatty acids, or in short form known as MUFA. So this is palmitoleic acid. It has 16 carbon and one double bond at 9th carbon starting from carboxylic group. The other is oleic acid. It is 18 carbon chain and one double bond at 9th carbon starting from COH group. Now some examples of polyunsaturated fatty acid known as PUFA. Linoleic acid 18 carbon, double bond at 9 and 12 carbon. Linolenic acid 18 carbon, double bond at 9, 12, 15. And arachidonic acid 20 carbon, double bond at 5, 8, 11 and 14. The unsaturated lipids are important components of membrane lipids, which must be fluid at all environmental temperatures, and because of their kink in their hydrocarbon trails, so they provide this, helps in providing this fluid nature. Now similarly we will see in animals that hibernate, lipids in their tissues which are subject to cooling and in extremities are more unsaturated. So this will help to keep the body metabolism going in that extreme cool period. Let's now see essential fatty acids. Now polyunsaturated fatty acids are called essential fatty acids as they are not synthesized in our body. Linoleic acid, linolenic acid and arachidonic acid are essential fatty acids. However, arachidonic acid can be synthesized in our body from linoleic acid as it is considered as semi-essential fatty acid. Now the pathway in this picture shows synthesis of arachidonic acid in our body. Fatty acid can also be classified as omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. When position of double bond is indicated by numbering carbon atoms from methyl group end, also called as omega end, then the PUFA are named as omega fatty acids. Now, suffix number indicates the position of the first double bond. According to this, linoleic acid and arachidonic acids are omega-6 fatty acids, and linolenic acid is omega-3 fatty acids, and oleic acid is omega-9 fatty acid. Let's recapitulate the importance of essential fatty acids. So, essential fatty acids have a number of functions. So, they are required for membrane phospholipids. Phospholipids have arachidonic acid esterified with the 2OH group of glycerol. They are required for brain growth and development. And precursors of cyanoids, that is arachidonic, which give rise to prostaglandins, leukotrienes, and thromboxane, that are involved in numerous homeostatic biological functions and inflammation. They also play an important role in vision. So PUFAs have cholesterol lowering effect and preventive role in atherosclerosis. They prevent fatty liver formation. And deficiency of PUFAs may lead to a variety of symptoms, including retarded growth in children, reduced fertility, and pathological changes in skin. Now we will study trans fats, but before we do that, let's know some important concepts. Let's have a look at the concept of geometric or cis trans isomers. Geometric isomers are molecules that are locked into their special position with respect to one another due to double bond. Now, in the context of chemistry, cis isomers indicate that the functional groups are on the same side of the carbon chain, while trans conveys that functional groups are on opposite side of the carbon chain. Now, with respect to fatty acids, we have example. It is to be noted that a cis double bond imparts a bend of 120 degree in the fatty acid chain, which becomes L-shaped. In contrast, in trans double bond, the chain is straight. Sources of trans fatty acids. Now, fatty acids of trans configuration in our food comes from two different sources. Number one, industrially produced partial hydrogenated fat used in frying oils, margarines, spreads, and in bakery products. And the number two is ruminant fat in dairy and meat products. Now, hydrogenation of unsaturated fatty acid refers to the addition of hydrogen atoms causing double bonds to become single ones. So they get saturated. And so carbon atom acquires new hydrogen partners. So this process can be of two types. One is fully hydrogenation, results in saturated fatty acids. So all the double bonds have been saturated with the hydrogen ion. And the other is partial hydrogenation, which results in addition of hydrogen atom at some of the empty positions with a corresponding reduction in the number of double bonds. Now the process of partial hydrogenation converts many unsaturated double bonds from a cis to trans configuration, that is geometric isomerization, also often inducing changes in the double bond position to a different carbon in the fatty acid chain, positional isomerization. As a result of this process, partial hydrogenated oils typically contain more than 20 novel trans fatty acid isomers of oleic or linoleic acid. Why do we do hydrogenation of oils? Because there are many advantages of hydrogenation in food industry. Linolenic acid is prone to oxidation, producing rancidity. Hydrogenation process increases product shelf life and decreases refrigeration requirements. The presence of the trans fatty acid increases solidity and stability and shelf life of the products. Many baked foods require semi-solid fats to suspend solids at room temperature. Now this requirement is fulfilled by hydrogenation. Partially hydrogenated oils which have the right consistency to replace butter, oil, palm oil and lard at lower cost. So the cost is another advantageous factors for the food industry. Ruminant produced trans fatty acids. So these fatty acids are made by bacterial metabolism of polyunsaturated fatty acids in the rumen of ruminants such as cow, sheep and goat, and are consequently present in all fats from these animals. That is, some examples are vaccinic acid, rumenic acid. The maximum content of ruminant produced trans fatty acids in ruminant fat is about 6%. In milk, it is about 4 to 6% of the fat. Let's see some of the health risk of trans fatty acids. Dietary trans fatty acids have adverse effect on blood lipoprotein and heart. Now, the adverse effect on heart are mediated by increase in plasma concentration of low density lipoprotein, cholesterol, and lipoprotein A, and reduction in high density lipoprotein cholesterol, promotion of inflammation and dysfunction, possible effects on coagulation, resistance to insulin, displacement of essential fatty acids from membrane, affecting prostanoid related functions. The current body of evidence further indicates that trans fatty acid enhances multiple cardiovascular risk factors and increases congestive heart disease related events. Although ruminant trans fatty acids cannot be removed entirely from the diet, their intake is low enough in most populations that do not constitute a significant risk factor for congestive heart diseases. These are some of the references which you can go through. I will also upload few papers, research papers, which will be quite helpful in exploring this topic further. I hope you have enjoyed your learning today. Please let me know if you have any queries. Study well and keep safe. Thanks.